Here comes the longhorns. Gosh. Goats are in the longhorn pasture. Tex, you be nice. Don't need to go back to your pasture. What are you doing over here? This isn't your pasture. Hey. Hello, Lee. Miss Baby Jolene, she is wild. She doesn't know what's going on. Oh, look who's coming. Gracie. What are all these goats in your pasture? What's going on? Jolene is running all around. She thinks there's other babies over here.
I'm about out of crack.
Look at them all going crazy. Jolene, who is this in your pasture? Mommy, be sweet.
Wax. It's Father's Day. He's just waking up. He slept all the way over here. Something you want to tell your dad? Happy Father's Day. How about a love? How about a big old hug and a kiss? I'm making you hamburgers. I love you. We're waiting on Ellie, and we're going to have a little barbecue over here at Longhorn Lester's. Gonna make some hamburgers. Not using our cows. We buy meat like everybody else. We don't eat our own meat. We don't eat our own meat around here. And our second guest of honor has arrived. Ellie has made it out, and he's made it before lunch. How are you even awake this early?
Set an alarm.
He set an alarm. My son is here. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
How was your drive out?
It wasn't too bad.
Oh my goodness, the countdown is on. The countdown is on. Well, Jamie's gonna add her specialty. What do you got here?
Just some kebabs, some shrimp, and vegetables.
Now y'all should know
And
that
fruit.
a lot of this is made from Jamie's own garden,
Heck yeah.
not the shrimp.
Not the pineapples either.
We don't grow shrimp or pineapples here.
That would be crazy if we did, though.
You want me to move those sausages out of the way?
No, I like the edges for this.
Okay.
I'm
The
going to
edges.
cook those a little bit first, and then I'll put the actual shrimp on.
Okay. So this here is one of Jamie's special recipes. Doesn't that look delicious? So today is exactly 1 week. 1 week of that little munchkin's life right there. She is a week old today. Getting around really good. I'm proud of her. It's been hard, my friends. Listen to me. It's been real hard on the cows this year because of this heat. But the moms are doing such a good job in taking care of them and keeping them out of the sun. And moms are looking really good. Everyone's holding on to their weight, despite the fact that pretty much our grass has stopped growing. We're not getting a whole lot of grass right now. There's not a whole lot to eat out there. We're having to feed grains, we're having to feed hay, and that's hard being that we're only in June, because we still have July and August, which are going to be even hotter. And so we're really hoping for some rain. Isn't it weird though? Can't you always tell you're talking to somebody older when the number one thing they talk about is the weather? You always know you're talking to somebody who's affected by the weather. And as soon as you start talking to some folks, the first thing that comes up is the weather, the weather, the weather. And it's not because we're trying to make conversation boring. It's because a lot of times people don't realize how important the weather is in determining if our babies eat, if they eat well. Let me say if they just eat well, or if they barely eat at all. It's important as far as the hay. I mean, nobody wants to be having to put hay out in May. Hay is normally a winter food source. Hay is normally reserved for the winter when there is no grass, when the grass is all dry. But when you start feeding hay in the summer, at the beginning of summer, that's scary, because that means that this hay is going to go way, way up in price. And it's going to, in fact, be hard to find hay this winter. So anyone that's able to needs to go ahead and start getting their hay crop, even if you have to buy it. I'm going to go tomorrow and buy 20 rolls off of the field, off of a local field. And so I'm hoping it's going to be good. Hey, Santoro, I made you your very own bowl. I made him his very own. He's getting old enough to where mom didn't want to share. He's like, hey, you go try it. Huh? You go try it. Look what Dad did for me. Why don't you go try it and see how it tastes? She's like, I'm only a week-old baby. I don't even have any nub horns yet. Santoro got some nice little nubs there. Y'all see those little nubs? Santoro, I'm talking about you. Okay, fine. Pearl's like, okay, you don't want it, I'll eat it. Yeah, I'm not going to say that we're worried. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we're worried, because I don't want y'all to worry. There's no need in having you all start worrying. But I'm just going to say that it's a hard year for a lot of people with the drought, and then some folks getting too much rain. But down here, most people's fields are not giving them near what they need. And so what we're going to hope for is that at some point this Saharan dust will clear out of the atmosphere. And when that happens, we can start getting some more moisture to absorb. And that means we can get some rain. Because otherwise, it's going to be really, really tough, friends. I love these calves. You can sit here and watch them all day. You really can. You sit here and you watch them all day. Just really cute and playful. Yeah, there have been a couple of people talk about Jolene, saying that, Lester, I'm concerned about her. She's not near as active as what Santoro was. No, guys, she's not, because it's hot. And in this heat, you don't really want to exert a lot of energy. That's just instinctive, just to conserve your energy. Don't build up a whole lot of extra body heat if you don't need to. And so Santoro, being born in the spring, when it wasn't near as hot, yeah, I'm sure he had a whole lot more energy, a whole lot more spunk. Right now, it's 100 degrees temperature. And with the heat index, it's probably 104, 105, maybe hotter. And so there's not a lot of folks want to do anything in this kind of heat. That means you, me, or these cows. Yeah, I was reading about up in Kansas, those farmers up there, those ranchers had lost a lot of cows because the heat is so much by day that the cows really need those nighttime temperatures to kind of restore their natural cooling. But because the temperatures over there were staying in the 90s, even overnight, the cows were unable to cool off, and they were losing cows, I think, by the thousands. And so I don't think that we have those kind of extremes here. What I'm happy about, seriously, what I'm happy about the most is that these pastures, they offer a lot of shade. Even though our pond is not much to look at, we always have a full water trough that we change out every couple of days with good fresh water. It stays full. It stays full. We're keeping out hay to kind of like help quench any hunger that they're not able to fulfill from the grains or from whatever little grass they're getting. Both our moms are healthy and they're able to produce plenty of milk. The calves are looking great. They're doing good, but I'm not saying we don't worry, because we do worry. But we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine over here. All right, so I'm standing here at the ostrich pastures with Jamie and Ellie. And I have a question I want to ask them both without giving them time to think about it. And I'm also going to ask all of you to help me on this one here. I have a dilemma. I have a question for you. Y'all ignore the goats walking up. Listen to me. So here was the plan. Got two pastures. One was going to be for Carl and Debbie. And they'll also share with the goats. The goats have a doggy door. They can come in and out, okay? For protection and for shelter. Over here, I have the exact same size pasture. They're both congruent, same size, same shape. This is going to be for Tat and for Tina. right? But now I have this question. I want to know, do y'all think it's wiser for me just to leave this gate here open? This is a little middle dividing gate that I can close. Just leave it open for the next 2 years and let them all 4 of them live harmoniously together until Tat gets old enough to start being an issue to Carl. And then at that point, put him and Tina on their own side. But in the next 2 years, allow them just to kind of go back and forth as they will. Or when I bring them over next week, because we're bringing them next Sunday, when I bring them over, do I go ahead and at that point make the great divide? Carl and Debbie will never have a chance to intermingle any more than just through the fence with Tat and Tina. What are y'all's thoughts? Ellie, you have an idea?
I mean, I feel like if Tat and Carl are used to each other right now, they'll be less likely to feud when they get older, because like Tat will respect Carl and Carl will respect Tat. Picture like if you threw 2 strangers together, then they'd be more likely to feud, I feel like.
Okay. I don't know. Jamie, what are your thoughts before I go in with my thoughts?
So, I think that it's okay until we see that it's not. Because I think that during breeding season, whether Tat is old enough or not, whether he's old enough to date or not, I think that during breeding season, we have seen Tina get hurt because she was not interested. So we may need this to separate Tina and Tat during that time in the next couple months. I just think it's...
Tat's not even that big though. What could he do to hurt her?
Oh no, it's not Tat, it's Carl.
Carl.
Okay, so my thoughts were, I'm torn. On one hand, I'm thinking, why separate them into 2 different pastures if they're doing so well right now all together? So in that's kind of what Ellie's saying. But I'm also under the kind of thinking to myself, if we bring them over and from day one, Carl knows that this is mine. Let's just say not just the pasture, but also the lady. This is mine. And Tat from day one knows that this is mine. And they never have to, in the next 2 years, decide, oh, this used to be mine, but now that's not. And this is mine now, and that's not.
I see that, but I also know that hormones surpass all, and during mating season, Tina is going to want to date. And that will entice Carl to, no matter if it's his or not, to want to make it his. So I think that you're fighting a lost cause and reducing some generalized happy times and cohesive times. And the other thing is, you do not want the girls to go back to picking on each other either, because if you remember, that was actually just as bad as anything else was. All
right, so you're saying then, you're both saying, leave the middle dividing fence, dividing gate open. Leave this open and allow all 4 ostriches to move back and forth freely until we start seeing a reason to close them off, separate them.
Yes.
You're both saying the same thing?
Yeah.
Well, I would be very interested to see what you guys in the comments think. You've heard my opinion. You've heard Jamie and Ellie's opinions. And now, I would love to read yours. Let's just be constructive here and think about it before we say anything. And just think about what would be best for the long run and the long term. Because, today's Sunday. And that means 1 week from today, we'll be dropping them off. I could very simply pull up to this gate and drop off 2. Pull up over there and drop off the other 2. Close.
You're like, yeah, we could just drop them off and it's all going to be peaceful and fine. And, there's not going to be any chaos involved whatsoever. Do you know who we are?
Yeah, no, there'll be chaos. But I just kind of wanted to know where to drop them. This is unbelievable. It is 100 degrees outside. And it's 7 o'clock in the afternoon. That's just unbelievable, Jamie.
It's awful.
Grandpa, you didn't know you were going to be a goat wrangler in your old age, did you? Hurry up, Huck's leaving.
All right, do y'all mind if I video? Because we just talked about this. We drove over here so fast. Man, Fiona, you're not doing your job, baby. You're supposed to be barking at the goats.
Is Mom and Dad coming?
They didn't bark at us. It scared me to death.
Oh, they're not going to bark. They're babies. How'd you guys get them back in?
How did you get them back over?
They went under the fence over here. They went right under the fence. Huck and all of them just followed under the fence. Came around they just ran to the easy go.
And you said, and the calf was with them?
Longhorns, they go under the light. And
Yeah, they love to be under the light at night.
Oh my god.
to death, I thought it was a rat.
I am so sorry, you two. I don't know what to say. This is the second time. I don't think I talked about the first time they got out, but this is the second time Miss Pat's. I have to video this over here, Miss Pat. So this Miss Pat's little golf cart, and look, this is where she keeps all of her animal treats. So what all do you have here, Miss Pat? I
This-
see some cubes.
This is the apple flavor
For the
things
horses
that for
and
horses
donkeys.
Yeah, but they were all eating them.
Of
This is the
course.
peppermint.
That yeah,
And
yeah.
this is just that
Goes cattle
cattle
cubes.
cubes, yeah.
Well, you got you a
got a
whole
little bit
set
of
up there,
everything.
and do you use that brush on them also?
No, that's to clean this off.
Oh, that's just to clean your golf cart. Okay.
But I'll be honest, I did buy a brush for
You got to brush it, Beverly. Man, look at them over there. Look at them. They're staring at us. They're like, hello, hello.
You want a treat? I don't have you.
You two are trouble.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.